gonna grab her mouth too? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. She grabbed her face and everything.
The critics desperately wanted the world to believe the magic was finally over. For weeks, the noise grew louder. Sports talk shows mocked the slow start. Analysts questioned the chemistry. Former players rolled their eyes at the constant attention surrounding Caitlin Clark. Every missed shot became a headline. Every frustrated reaction became a controversy. Every Indiana Fever loss was treated like proof that the phenomenon had finally collapsed under its own impossible expectations. They wanted fans to believe the spotlight was fading. They wanted everyone to believe the hype was temporary. But then reality arrived like a thunderclap. The numbers are officially in, and they completely shattered every negative narrative surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Not barely survived. Not quietly disproved. Destroyed. Because while critics spent weeks trying to convince the public that viewers were tuning out, millions of people were actually doing the exact opposite. They were flooding arenas, smashing television ratings, exploding social media engagement, and turning ordinary WNBA games into national events unlike anything the league has ever experienced. And suddenly, all the talking points collapsed at once. The same media voices claiming fans were fatigued by Caitlin Clark coverage are now staring at audience numbers so massive they can barely explain them away. The same analysts insisting her emotional reactions were hurting the brand are now watching those moments generate viral engagement levels most professional leagues would dream of having. That's the part they never understood. People are emotionally invested. That is not a weakness. That is the entire engine of sports. Fans are not drawn to perfection. They are drawn to intensity, pressure, passion, drama, and authenticity. And whether critics like it or not, Caitlin Clark brings all of it every single night she steps onto the court. What makes this entire situation even more unbelievable is that she's doing all of this while operating inside an offense many fans openly believe has limited her strengths. Throughout the early part of the season, frustration visibly built around the Indiana Fever's stagnant offensive structure. Analysts debated coaching decisions endlessly. Viewers questioned spacing, tempo, rotations, and shot creation. Yet despite all of that chaos, despite every headline trying to magnify dysfunction, the audience kept growing. Why? Because people are not just watching basketball anymore. They are watching a cultural movement unfold in real time. Every game featuring Caitlin Clark now carries an atmosphere that feels bigger than sports itself. Arenas become events. Broadcasts become spectacles. Social media transforms into non-stop debate for hours before and after tip-off. Casual viewers who never watched the WNBA before suddenly know schedules, stats, rivalries, and storylines. That level of attention cannot be manufactured by marketing departments. It happens naturally when an athlete captures the imagination of the public. And that is exactly what has happened here. The most revealing part of this entire story is how aggressively some people tried to deny it. Instead of embracing the unprecedented attention pouring into the league, certain voices seemed determined to minimize it. They framed the popularity as temporary. They downplayed the ratings. They dismissed sold-out crowds as hype rather than evidence of genuine transformation. But eventually reality becomes too large to ignore. And now the evidence is overwhelming. The so-called Caitlin Clark effect is not slowing down. It is accelerating. Every major appearance generates another spike in interest. Every nationally televised game pulls in new viewers. Every viral moment expands the audience further beyond traditional basketball fans. The league is reaching demographics it struggled to connect with for years. That is not ordinary star power. That is generational influence. The most ironic part? The attempts to humble her may have actually made her even bigger. Because every criticism created more conversation. Every controversy created more attention. Every effort to frame her as overrated only made supporters more passionate and curious to watch for themselves. And once they watched, many stayed. That is the nightmare scenario for critics who believed this moment would fade quickly. Instead, the audience keeps multiplying. The energy keeps growing. And the spotlight surrounding Caitlin Clark keeps becoming impossible to contain. This is no longer about one rookie. This is about the complete transformation of visibility, demand, and commercial power in women's basketball. The ratings are not lying. The sold-out arenas are not lying. The merchandise numbers are not lying. The national attention is not lying. And perhaps the loudest statement of all is this: even during controversy, even during criticism, even during losses, people still cannot stop watching Caitlin Clark.
It reported that the WNBA Commissioner Cup Fever vs. Dream Commissioner Cup garnered 10.79 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game in history. This is catastrophic big news for the W, man. Now, I don't know what network that the game came on because I was there, but I do know there was a lot of fans there. Some people made a big thing with it being Pride Night.
Now let this absolutely staggering number fully sink in for a moment. 79 million viewers. Nearly 11 million people tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark. That is not merely the most watched WNBA game of the year. It is not just a successful Commissioner's Cup showcase. It is not simply another strong ratings performance driven by curiosity. No, this was a complete seismic event for professional basketball. This became the single most watched WNBA broadcast in league history. And suddenly every single narrative pushed against Caitlin Clark over the last several weeks completely collapsed in real time. The critics said the hype was fading. The media claimed fans were tuning out. Analysts insisted viewers were getting tired of the constant coverage. Yet when the lights became brightest, when the spotlight reached maximum intensity, the audience did not shrink. It exploded. Because whether people love her, doubt her, criticize her, defend her, or obsess over every single move she makes, they cannot stop watching her. That is what true superstardom looks like. Those ratings are not accidental. They are not random. They are not manufactured. 10 million people did not suddenly appear because of a logo or a league promotion. They showed up because one player has fundamentally altered the gravity of women's basketball. Number 22 has become the center of the sports universe. And now the entire power structure surrounding the Indiana Fever is facing a terrifying reality they can no longer ignore. For weeks, there has been growing frustration surrounding the Fever offense. Fans have watched possession after possession dissolve into stagnant half-court basketball that feels completely disconnected from the fast-paced, transition-heavy brilliance that made Caitlin Clark a global phenomenon in the first place. Viewers expected creativity. They expected movement. They expected pace. Instead, too often they watched isolation sets, slow possessions, awkward spacing, and offensive sequences that seemed designed to neutralize the very strengths that made Clark historically special. And when nearly 11 million people are watching, every single coaching decision becomes magnified. That is why the criticism surrounding the offensive structure has grown so loud. Because fans are not simply tuning in to watch ordinary basketball anymore. They are tuning in expecting to witness something revolutionary. They remember the electrifying pace from Iowa. They remember the deep logo threes. They remember the transition attacks that felt like controlled chaos. They remember the creativity that forced defenders into panic. And when that energy disappears inside a slower system, audiences immediately feel the difference. Now, to be fair, basketball is complicated and no single coach is responsible for every missed shot, every turnover, or every offensive struggle. Adjustments take time. Chemistry matters. Defenses at the professional level are elite. And even the greatest players in the world face difficult stretches during long seasons. But the frustration from fans is clearly real because the contrast feels impossible to ignore. The larger concern, however, goes beyond offensive philosophy. It is the physical punishment. Night after night, Caitlin Clark faces relentless defensive pressure, full court pressure, aggressive face guarding, hard contact, constant physicality. Opposing defenses clearly understand that stopping her changes everything about the Fever offense. And despite battling visible frustration and reports of illness surrounding the game, she still stepped onto the court carrying the weight of the largest audience the league has ever seen. That matters. Because superstars do not just carry stat sheets. They carry expectations. They carry ticket sales. They carry television contracts. They carry attention. And right now, Caitlin Clark is carrying an enormous percentage of the league's visibility on her shoulders. That is why these ratings are so important. They completely destroy the idea that interest surrounding her is fading. If anything, the fascination is growing larger than ever before. The entire sports world is now locked in on what happens next. Can the Indiana Fever unlock the offense fans desperately want to see? Can the coaching staff adapt to maximize the generational talent sitting in front of them? Can the organization build a structure that matches the magnitude of the moment? Because the spotlight is no longer temporary. It is permanent. And with millions watching every possession, every substitution, every offensive adjustment, and every emotional reaction, the pressure surrounding the Fever organization is becoming impossible to escape. That is the true meaning behind these historic ratings. This is no longer just a basketball story. It is a cultural phenomenon unfolding in real time. The critics wanted the spotlight to fade. Instead, the spotlight became brighter than anyone imagined possible. The record books have officially changed. The audience has spoken. And now the entire basketball world is waiting to see whether the Indiana Fever rise alongside Caitlin Clark's historic momentum, or become the organization remembered for failing to fully unleash one of the most transformative stars the sport has ever seen.